bills.
Right,
So all of a
exactly.
sudden I have Dan and Nick, but then have to go pick up more garbage, have
Right.
to fix more things. So I mean, as taxpayers, we're then paying to pick up after it.
Yeah.
Therefore, then I mean, there has to be a fee.
Well, and I think that's what they're doing down there now. They're doing, okay, and say it's $50. Okay, the $50 is for cleanup, and you know, if you don't clean it up, you're not getting any of it back. But here is what, or any kind of a fee, you know, just so that, and they have residential and non-residential fees also.
That's what I was getting
So
at.
if it's a resident,
Split it that way, but I mean, I think you need to see more than $50.
yeah,
I think
well,
it
from
should-
a
We
non-resident.
charge
yeah.
$350 for a wedding, up to $500.
Well, yeah, something
Yeah,
for that
I
building
would say,
over there.
I would say at least $100 minimum with like saving a $300 deposit.
Right, with that building especially. I'm just talking like maybe at the pavilion at Green,
Even
you
still.
know.
When you have a party and you have 30 people come in, they busted stuff up. We got to make sure that these guys are doing it. I mean, nobody in this room should pay for someone else's party.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'm
totally
invited.
agree.
I'm
I
invited.
totally
Sure, I'll bring
agree
my
with
own
you. It
bottle.
has to be something that, you know, people are gonna say, well, I'm gonna make sure this is taken care of.
That's fine, but I mean, I think then when you also need to look at the, you know, the logistics of it, then if we're taking in money for it, what is the insurance thing?
The other thing too is liquor.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You have to have a licensed bartender, again, state of Illinois. You have to have a licensed bartender if you're gonna serve alcohol. And that's the party's responsibility. You know, they bring in their own alcohol and stuff, they have to have a licensed
I'm sure we
bartender.
could review somewhere that Michigan has some rule that I would just let fall into place.
But you just can't let them go in there, you know what I mean, and bring kegs of beer and bottles of whiskey and party all night, and there's gotta be a law, you know.
Well, we can lay down rules, but then at the same time, where we are, who the hell polices?
We need a constable.
No, I mean, as a supervisor or whatever, or you just put somebody over there. I mean, if you gotta pay one of your employees.
It's rented, make a visit,
Yeah,
take a welfare check.
yeah, I mean, basically, you don't need somebody standing there all day, but I mean, that's what we did in our buildings. We just went and checked on them, and then we'd have somebody go back later before they died. And then in the morning, we'd assess it as, man, they left garbage everywhere. Now they don't get their deposit back, that's done.
You have to remember where we live too, though.
Yeah, we live in a highly populated area, you know what I mean? It's not like here.
We don't, people here, you know, like,
Are
we
more
have household
respectful up
income
here.
and things like that as far as what we rent it out for. Somebody wants to rent it for a wedding, you know, they're doing it because they want to save money and not go somebody call or something.
Again, if they're inviting 200 people, they can afford a $300 rental.
Well, whether it's
So, you know,
2 people or 200, there again, it shouldn't be the taxpayer's expense to clean it up.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, and that's why I wanted to bring this up, because it came up.
I would say put some guidelines in place and get it situated for the next meeting, sure.
Okay. I appreciate you guys' good.
I just rented the pavilion at the Peggy Beach Hall.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ten,
But that Aggie Beach, I haven't been there. I heard it's very nice though.
10 little rules on it, and,
A what?
10 rules.
10 rules?
Yeah, it didn't say nothing about no alcohol.
Could you show me? Could you send me an email on what it is?
Well, there's some signage on the pavilion.
Yeah, I better put it back as each one.
Yeah, no, I can't. And you got a nice center.
Yeah.
If we go
The
into
different
a
townships would probably have it.
situation where we start
That's
renting,
right.
then we need to look at
That's why I
getting some
brought it up
signage
here.
according to that.
There's a lot to think about, you know, it's not
I
just,
agree.
hey, let's bring
And
it.
also, you know, I was part of when, they were putting the shoes and letters in
Okay.
it. And, there was a lot of concern about insurance and things like that. And then the guy that was in charge of that city, he said, you know, we worry about that when it comes about it.
Okay.
And they put that all together for insurance. The whole shoes and letters. There was a lot of stickers in the money.
Well, that's what I was getting at too, was our residents, like, there's one thing if you Airbnb your house and guests come and wanna use it, then they're not a resident. So my question was with the residents, like, how do I ask you to pay for something when you've already paid taxes on it?
Still, you can pay
Oh,
for,
so there's.
Right.
I'm not a resident of Stanton Township. I'm a resident of
Right.
It's all government language.
Like 4 pages on it.
Yeah.
And, that $100 price is for
Okay.
residents and non-residents.
Okay.
You have all kinds of things on that, you know, electricity and
Yeah.
everything, so.
Water.
The insurance,
Water, the insurance, everything, so there's nothing wrong with asking.
Is there power there?
power where?
Like green?
Oh,
But just give, charge the residents with a lot of things.
I think so. Okay.
Just like when people go in the park, you know, they charge the resident for every month.
Yeah, we're in the woods.
We had to have put it on a homeowner's insurance.
And you know that, Mike.
We're getting another one called,
Okay.
private shower grant to the township that I worked at. I had to bring my proof that I had a lighter.
Okay.
Call like, we do like a one day.
Mhm.
Call like Dmitrovich and Forsyth and see what they, you know, that way you have some stuff.
So
to
you
back
have,
it up.
you have plenty of notes, take down some stuff that you can either discuss it at the next meeting.
Yeah,
or get your ducks in a row, we can work into it.
Yeah, there was nothing to approve, pass, or anything. This was solely an open discussion because I really needed help with this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Treasury report. Is Kitty sitting in?
Yeah.
Reading?
Linda wanted to make sure everybody knew, you can see there, she wanted to apologize for the delay on the sewer bills. We did not even receive the reads from the water company until the 12th. It seems to be a common thing, that's something we're gonna work on, see if we can get them to give us the reads a little bit earlier so you guys can get your bills. Because I know that's been, I've heard from several people, that's been an issue, you don't have time to pay your bills. Because we're only getting like 2 weeks before they're due, and then we have to put them out to you.
What about people out of town too, you know, I mean, that's.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, we're gonna try to see if we can't start getting those reads sooner.
I don't think I got my bill from Montauk until the 12th.
Right, exactly.
So,
And our sewer bills read through the water bill.
Yeah,
they said they got the reading on the 8th and didn't come through till the 12th.
yeah,
One
So
is
we're
we
kind of waiting
become
on
more up with BSNA and
yeah.
better computer, will this get faster? I would hope.
I think you guys can share
If we can-
information then.
Yeah,
it'll get quicker.
I would hope so. I would hope there could be some kind of solution, but we will be working on that to find a solution. We were having problems with the computer and the reports, as was mentioned earlier. There was so much going on with the computers that the bills just couldn't, the computers just weren't working. So
I
we
think a
couldn't get
lot
the
of
bills
things
done, so,
that we're having issues with is everybody else is updating.
yeah.
We have not. So,
Yeah, so the computer, getting the new computers and get everything updated, that's gonna streamline things a lot.
we're running out of wires to send it through.
Yeah. So, but, and there won't be any late fees, so you don't have to worry about late fees, you know, because if you're not getting your bills, you can't pay them on time, so, you know, the courts are not gonna be charged late fee for that. And that's that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kitty.
So me, I have a few things. I think, again, Dan and Nick have been doing an excellent job going through things. We have a few things that we're going to update, obviously, that you guys have all seen that are, you know, needed. I think as the efficientness has gotten better in learning it, and I think you can start, as taxpayers, see the improvements that we have made here and we're working towards. I have been on Ryan's butt, supposedly. Some part in the first half of July, we will see curb sweeping. We will also, supposedly, in July, see storms, drains inspected and cleaned out, especially the one over by Harps. I was on him about that. The drainage system in behind Jeff's house and the other gentleman's house, Upco basically said piss off on, but they put a pole in, and there's some drains that run all the way in between them houses, and I guess they claim that they come all the way up here, all the way up Tamarack. And we had some backyards flooding, I went out and inspected it, and I walked it and found it. For some reason, it drops into the manhole on Oak Street. But they put a new pole in, the gentleman said, and that punched a hole in it, and the culvert was still there. I found that in the weeds. And when I called him, the gentleman looked back and he said the new pole that the guy said was put in 19 feet. So they weren't interested in doing that. I mean, I told him as a homeowner we would look into maybe going out and doing it as us. But other than that, with the events and things moving forward, I hope we can have a little bit better collaboration, working together to have a community event and help people enjoy the holidays. Other than that, working through and learning some things, I would want to ask, Dan, can I have that bag? With Dan and Nick working here and trying to move stuff, we've gotten things more and more compliant with your wrappers.
Oh, that's right here.
But for moving things around and doing what and watching these guys try to work and struggling through it. I guess before I make any calls, I'll lay this out as taxpayers, but we never had or were able to find a ratchet strap, tools. There isn't even a socket set here. Dan found all of this. So Milwaukee tools, pens, brand new screwdriver sets, all paid for by taxpayers, and there's not a tool left here. And I got them new ratchet straps so they could at least function. I'm not a real big lover of theft, but before I throw something like out there, I'll ask you guys as a group in a meeting setting, do I go look and see who signed for this when they bought it, and then go ask that person to please return it? Because that's not that old. And I don't know if I'm incorrect or not, but we don't have a screwdriver set here. We don't have a socket set here. When they went to move lawnmowers, there ain't a ratchet strap here. There is nothing left here to function as a township. So we've been doing our due diligence, using my stuff, using Dan's stuff, using our things to function, but I don't see how we functioned here for 20 years without this. And I even questioned it. And then when you go find wrappers for brand new screwdrivers and brand new pliers, and then the stuff is nowhere to be found, I'll lay it out there as taxpayers. What would you like me to do? Because in my opinion, this is theft. So, do I go after the stuff and see what else there is? Do I want to open that can of worms with who was here before? I'm just saying, you guys already bought it once, and it's at somebody's house.
Well, I'm saying, did you know who signed off on it?
I haven't done that yet. I told her about it, and I've been sitting on it a little bit, and I thought instead of opening my mouth and
This
saying
makes you
anything,
wonder how many more tools and stuff like that are bought and missing from the township also,
there ain't a socket set here.
Well, that's, how did they survive before?
So,
I guess
So-
my question would be, you were using your tools and he's using his tools, maybe they were using their tools.
Well, then where did them tools go?
I don't know, that I don't know. That's what we're questioning.
that's what we're questioning. Where is this stuff at?
Maybe it just got lost. Yeah, laid it down somewhere.
That's the thing I was saying.
I don't know.
A lot of tools lay on the
There's a lot of empty holes out there.
That's unbelievable.
So if y'all want me to, I'll leave it be. If you want me to go see who signed for that and go ask the question, I'll gladly do it.
Where did you find out?
I'll go with it.
Okay? Anybody else?
You're a posse.
What do you want to do, Joe? Find out where they are? Okay?
Ed,
For the amount of money there, maybe it's not worth opening the can of worms, but on the other hand, we don't know how much else there was.
Yeah, that's my only thing I'm thinking is, if there's this, is there other stuff? Do we have to go dig back that far to see how many other
Right.
tools were bought and missing from the township, or do we as a township say, hey, it's a new page, these people are no longer here, it's them living with it on their conscience that they stole from not only the township that they worked for or whatever, but from the whole community that pays taxes to that township. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Everybody
It's
in
something
this
that,
room paid for something that was in here.
Yeah, and that's about $30-$40 right there,
That's probably all
well,
of that.
and my
So-
question would be, how do
And
you?
I know this one right here is probably $50-$60. That's
Yeah.
catalogs, pliers, and everything from Milwaukee. There's over $100 laying right there.
I would suggest that we go back over the last 2, maybe 3 years if we want to, and see how much stuff was bought
Okay.
for the maintenance of it. And if it comes to what you might consider an exorbitant amount, then it's time to go after the person or persons.
I do
Now,
agree.
yeah,
I do agree with that. If the numbers add up enough that it's theft at over $1,000 is a felony.
That's right.
So, if it's over $1,000 in theft from our township, I think as a community, I think anybody here would say, hey, somebody's a felon, you know, stealing from us like this, no, and they're not getting charged for it, maybe we should look into it.
Well, and I don't know if everything went missing right at the end, but yeah, I mean, I say we go back a couple of years because, you know, outside maybe losing a screwdriver here and there, but I mean, when you have tool sets, and I mean, you can see where there's some racks in there that are empty. But I mean, these guys couldn't even change a weed or hit. There's nothing. I mean, there's a pressure wrench and a hacksaw. I mean, there's no way this place functions.
And all the years that this township's been here, there isn't a stockpile of old wrenches and stuff like that. It gets kind of, you know, it does raise a lot of questions.
Huge.
But again, who's got access to the garage?
Everybody.
Doesn't matter who bought it. The person that bought it is ultimately responsible for it. So if you bought me something and I took it or lost it and never went to you, but then went and bought something else, you signed for it again, you're ultimately responsible for it. I'm not. I'm responsible from your end of it where you could write me up because I didn't come to you and say we lost it and then bought another one. My thing is I've dealt with this before. If it's you've already lost it, it's already gone, you don't know if it's lost, you don't know who took it, you can point fingers all you want, but how far are you going to chase a rabbit down its hole before you got to turn around and say, you know what, it's not even worth it? The problem's gone. There's a new regime in town. It's a couple $100. It's not worth the time to even pursue stuff like that and get it into your head. You got a new group now. Get it in their head that if shit comes missing from day one, then you can go after it. They're ultimately responsible, and that's where you keep a checklist. You have a maintenance folder of everything that's bought, and that folder and the dates that you bought it. But to chase a couple $100 or $1,000 is not worth it.
I agree with
a taxpayer. I waste money every day.
I agree with that, but I think we should go back a couple of years and see. I mean, if there is a $400 socket set,
let this get into your head.
I mean, even they don't even have a floor jack on it.
Well, for all you know, there was a couple chainsaws back there already, right? I mean,
correct.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, no,
here.
we don't know that. But again, you can make yourself crazy going through this. I mean, I've gone through it, and then I don't sleep at night, and then I become grouchy. And I bring my problems.
Well, I don't think anything here is going to get us grouchy, but I just wanted to lay it out there that what we're coming into with I mean, I feel it takes to even function at the level they were at.
Oh yeah.
It required some type of tools, but or even some equipment or safety this or that. I mean, there's nothing. So if you guys want to let it go, I'll let it go. But I just
I mean, you can go back.
Is that building occupied? I mean, when they go out with their lawnmowers and all, do they lock up the place?
No.
Well, Joe Blow can walk in there and take whatever he wants. I mean,
Good.
you gotta have you want to stop anything, you gotta lock the damn doors. Simple as that.
That's why I'm having this meeting. Because I would like to think in this community we don't have that during the day, but
you never know.
you never know.
I think the last
It's
thing,
gotta be locked.
Marty doesn't need more than you, but I disagree on one point, that if you had, I know you don't, so I'm gonna say it anyway, because I know the look on you, Mom. We should go back 2 years.
Yeah.
Because if this turns into $10,000, it's absolutely worth it. If it even turns into $2,500, I'm in agreement that if we're talking under $1,000, you're never going to be able to prove who did it. You don't have photographs. You know how that works. Not anybody, they can always claim anybody for walking in. You're never going to admit to it.
Well, I'll say this, the last 25 years, everything else that's not of value is here. They've been busting their butts clean.
But I went through this exact thing when we took over Snowbelt.
Oh, we'll
All of a
do
sudden they had nothing.
Do some looking for sure, and then we'll see where it goes. But I mean, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But I mean, if we see some big ticket items, so be it.
Lock the doors.
Hang on, this gentleman had his hand up.
We had this problem at the Municipal Park Center. And while superintendent, this very thing came up. So we had everything we would want to do. And when I transferred from one park like Yellowstone to Grand Canyon, whatever, we had to deal with that. But you can't start making accusations because you can really stir some real vengeance on people who say, I didn't take that. And you spend a lot of time and money receiving it. The main thing is, whatever you buy, get them for you.
Right.
Get it locked up and go square one.
We're doing our best. We did have, the key went out, didn't show up, but I mean, yeah, the garage doors don't work properly.
That's the thing, put the money in the locks and organization, inventory what you got. And you're gonna find your problem almost easy.
Well, we'll spend a little time looking and seeing then what was there, but at this point, yeah.
I'm not gonna like fall right into it on Monday, cause I have a lot of things going, but if
We
as
spend a lot of
things,
time doing this, and I agree with many things that people say.
We need to
Every
look
part I
into
work
it.
at, we have to deal with this, and that's how we correct.
right,
Yeah, but I agree, go back 2 years and find out.
We'll look at it quickly, and basically everything come from us.
Yes.
right.
I agree with
So
that
it's not like we have to look in 12 places. It's
But like you say, buy a nice toolbox, put tools in it, and when they go home for the weekend, they lock the thing, just in case somebody has to come in here and all of a sudden, well, you know, I need to borrow a screwdriver from home, I forgot to bring it back.
sewer shed technically is locked.
Yeah, that's it.
That's where all that was found.
Okay.
And there's locking cabinets in there and stuff. So the new one is better than this one. But at some point, my plan is to get them a specific maintenance facility with one bay, tools situated so they can work efficiently and leave it as just that.
And if there are only 2 that go in there besides you guys,
Correct.
then there's what, 5 people plus the 2?
Yes.
You got 7 people that only go in there, that door is locked, even if they're gonna walk to their car, you close the door. You know,
And you had a comment?
I guess the other thing I would think about is if we find there's whatever you want to call a substantial amount of money, and you don't really want to get into pursuing it and pointing fingers and that, we can at least make sure that the public is aware, because we're going to have a nice new computer set up here. The loss that the township and the people here have had to endure because of this, and kind of let the public work towards the
Let it sink in.
possible culprits.
Get a little engraver? Well, and I didn't want to, and I don't need to start a war like that. But I don't like thieves. So, I mean, if someone did take them and we get it out there that there was tools missing, and that person chooses to leave town, great. Especially if they stole
Now, Gary, the guy brought up a good point, though, it's engraved. Everything we got at our shop is engraved. Everything where I came from is engraved.
it. I have a engraver. I got an engraver I'll give you. It was $9.99 at a tool shop. So, the other thing, I guess, we'll look at that a little bit, and then maybe on the next meeting I'll make the comments of what we find. And the last thing I guess that I want to chat about, unless I have other things, is I made the decision to not have them mow Greentown Hall. I hope everybody's okay with that, but I went there and looked at it, and I don't ever foresee us using it. The building is decrepit, full of mice. Somebody was taking pictures complaining that the neighbor kid was mowing it. I made the decision to not invest the time, effort, wear and tear on our equipment, because I don't foresee us ever doing anything with that. And Marty said, well, we'd like to grant and do something with it. And okay, if the building becomes usable again, cool, then I'll have them mow the yard. But for right now, I think it's wasted money, expense, and wear and tear. I don't know what everybody else is feeling on it, but that's why we have it mowed. So, does anybody even know where it is?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, what's the first part, tell us where it is.
Halfway River Road.
It's up halfway road a little bit to the left, but I mean, I feel right now the investment is not worth our time.
I'm just gonna tell you this, the key that they had marked for the Green Town Hall was not the Green Town Hall key. My husband was able to get in for us so we could go in and inspect. And it is literally mice, feces, urine, mold.
There's 2 big safes in there, they're set in the same spot, the floor went like this, I moved the one to try to maybe make something cool.
I would love to see it preserved, but we don't have the money, so that would be another grant. Because I would love to see it preserved, because that is a heritage, and we're seeing a lot more of our heritage leaving. For history,
It's historical site.
Yes, and it is nice to keep those as a museum or weddings or venues.
It
Stuff.
would be, but I mean, for right now,
Well, right now we don't have it.
I don't feel that
It's
it's worth
sinking. It's
us doing maintenance and lawn care at this moment.
yeah.
Plus, I got to drive there. It's further drive there with all the equipment there. You know, I have exposure, trailer time.
Yeah.
And I not to say it, but I mean, for what? What's our gain? I don't see a gain by manicuring that place right now. I take care of the
So if the
cemetery.
neighbor boy
parking, get
keeps
home.
doing it, he keeps doing it, right?
How much property is it on?
I mean, it's not huge.
It's only on about, I think it's on about an acre or two lot. I could pull it up on my GIS. If I wanted
Well,
to
and I
right now.
could too, but I mean, what they actually take
But
care
I
of
think it's-
probably isn't a lot, but at the same time, logistics to get there, logistics to get back, the time to do it, the wear and tear. Again, I'll ask you guys.
Bring it up for a vote?
Or what? No, I think we keep it if something could happen in the future, and it's where probably a lot of this stuff started. But
There's a lot of history sitting.
before we sell it, I just don't want.
No, I'm just saying,
So,
20 grand in the general fund's 20 grand. You know,
Well, I
30
think
grand,
that'd be worth
whatever.
more. But there was, so when we went out there, there was, like a horseshoe driveway at one point. The gravel's all gone, it's all grass. There's, again, a lot of, odds and ends spilled onto the sides, like just, air conditioner unit or something, or there was
tree
just,
debris, there's been some dumping.
yeah, just dumping out there.
Am I allowed to talk about that, and what he went through, or no?
What?
You want me to? Money? Audit, I have this.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's not that was a workman's comp audit, that's different. The web.
Well, the money went?
The web meeting, you can bring that information. But that's not an audit. That's two different things.
I would just, final thing I'll talk about is a lot of people talk about where money went and why we're broke and whatever. We're not broke, we're doing our best. But the building's sitting behind you. I don't know what happened. I wasn't here for it, I wish I would have been. But to sign documents and have a $1.2 million building built before the insurance said yes. And having $600K in coverage, and then ultimately coming to some sort of agreement through lawyer fees and whatnot, and it was $800,000. But I mean, Marty got a phone call from the state wanting to know why, as a township, we went from X amount of dollars to this amount of dollars.
457,000 to 156.
$300,000 is sitting behind you folks. I don't know, as taxpayers and/or as board members, you allow something like that to happen. And that used up a considerable chunk, over half of the savings that this township had for that building. And I don't know, and I guess we may never know of why it went down the way it did. But I will just say this, we will try our best to recover that money as soon as we can, but it's going to take years. I mean, that's a number with a lot of zeros that, I mean, I feel was, I don't know if it was someone's baby or what wanted to be done back there, but to do that, they signed the documents, and to do the stuff that they did and then rip over $300K out of savings for that, and it's still not be completed. The process of that building was done very, very incorrectly, and it cost taxpayers in Carp Lake Township hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I didn't know it was quite at that level, but it actually raised an eyebrow with the state that we received a phone call about why we were here and we are now here, and it was solely right there.
It actually wasn't even a phone call, it was a webinar.
A webinar. So $300,000+ came out of our savings and CDs because of how that process went. And
Are we utilizing it in any way?
That's what
every
I'm
time we
trying
had talked
to do.
and tried to, we were shot down. And I mean, because the kitchen's not done, and now there was not a wall here, but I mean, then there's a door where the ice rink covers it, and I don't know who did what there, but I mean,
Mike, is it even, do we have a certificate of occupancy?
we do.
Okay, so where that,
Yeah, fixed. It was over some doors and whatnot, and there were some things, but I mean, it's a big.
so we can
sales
utilize
site.
it, it's just a matter of how.
We'll do our best.
We're gonna
And
Which, Dan,
I was surprised there was that much.
I need those things grinded. Do we have a grinder?
Not the township.
That's the thing, is not even around here. No. But I would say that's it for me, unless anybody has any questions. But yeah, let's hope July's a good month for storm drains. First time the streets have been swept in 9 years, I'm gathering. I have one other thing, sorry. I would like to put on hold or move to that piece, but we have a gentleman that gave us a 5, or is that on the minutes?